This is Soul Vision Radio, where the dreams carry messages and your shadows become your medicine.
Peace to the dreamwalkers, seers, and souls tuning in right now. If you've been feeling an intense wave of chaos lately, you're not imagining it. The energy on the planet has shifted sharply, and there are cosmic reasons for it. We have entered Taurus season in the Western Hemisphere, a season usually known for grounding and stability, but instead what we're seeing is the shadow side of Taurian energy: stubbornness, power struggles, and yes, bully energy rising across the world. The world is holding its breath with the passing of Pope Francis, who is a global spiritual symbol, and his death echoes through energetic lines most people can't even see. Now, yes, I hear what you're saying. Well, yes, the Pope is evil, this and that. Yes, well, we must understand that the Pope is looked at as the father of humanity, in a sense. Now, we're talking about symbolically, right? The Pope is looked at as the father. So when a lot of these people who practice Catholicism are praying and things like that, remember that they hold him in a high regard. And there are many Roman Catholics in the world, right? So it's important that for those of you tuning in right now, make sure you go watch the movie Conclave, because that papal selection process is taking place currently, and it gives great insight to the inner workings of the Vatican government, as well as how a pope is chosen and what goes on and what takes place. It's much like politics, all right? So with his departure, it leaves a vacuum, and nature hates a vacuum, right? But something must fill its place, essentially. In the collective subconscious, it feels this, and it adds to the unrest. Imagine it's like similar to, if you lose the Dalai Lama, or, someone who a lot of people, I would say the masses, hold in a lot of respect for or hold in reverence to. And let's not forget, we're building toward a Taurian supermoon, which is a lunar event that's going to magnify everything emotionally, everything hidden in the shadows. And under this supermoon's light, what has been suppressed will rise. And right now, it's chaos that's bubbling over. Because remember, with the ebb and flow of the moon, with the supermoon, is just the moon that's going to be extremely close to the earth. A lot of emotions are going to be riled up. They're going to be coming out. They're going to be shifting the way that people think. So if you felt this pressure, the conflict, or even had strange dreams, you're tuning into the frequency of the planet's current state. And speaking of dreams, I had one recently that I feel called to share. In this dream, I stood at the edge of a great river. The water was wild, rushing with force, tearing away old roots from the banks. And people were trying to cross, but the current was just too strong. Then I noticed in the middle of the river, there was a single stone, a foundation stone, glowing faintly gold. The dream showed me that while the surface is chaos, there is still something ancient and solid beneath the storm. The message I received: the river must rage to cleanse, but the stone remains for those who remember their footing. That stone is our grounding, our center, our connection to source and purpose. So understand that even though we're facing things, you may be facing loved ones, you may be facing other family, friends, cousins, whoever, people at your job that may be, kind of shifting their attitude towards you a little bit in a funny way, or ways that may feel like they're attempting to provoke you, right? So it's important to not get distracted by the fact that they are also being affected by this chaotic energy that's on the planet right now. There's a lot of things going on. You got the 100 men versus gorilla type thing going on. And then you also have all the protests going on out there in Burkina Faso with Ibrahim Traore. I think that's how you say the name. Excuse me if I butchered it. But, and there's a lot of Western powers, so-called, that are against him, but he's nationalizing his country's people and resources. So, of course, his people are going to stand with him. That only makes sense, right? So I also had another dream, and in this dream, I was faced with a test. So in the dream, something occurred. Excuse me. Oh, confirmation. I won't get into it right there, but something did occur where I did want to fight in that dream. I wanted to absolutely annihilate someone. And as much as I could have done that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to walk away. I'm going to show a little restraint because at the end of the day, it was me being enraged, but it was my ego. And I realized that if I was to act out of anger while being in my ego, because this emotion came up out of whether it was jealousy, envy, or just a hate for whatever was going on, I didn't need to give my energy to that. Because then if I gave my energy to whatever was that was making my ego pissed off, now I'm succumbing to the energy and I'm giving in to the task. I'm giving in to what it is or who it was that was trying to provoke me. And now it's like they get a rise of the energy. So we have to be mindful of the things that we do because there are a lot of people that get a rise out of trying to upset you. There are a lot of people that get a rise out of seeing you down when you're doing the best that you can, right? And it's important not to internalize how they feel about you. So I need everyone to remember, no matter what we're going through right now, no matter what you're dealing with, the chaotic energy on the planet, everyone is feeling it in some way, shape, or form. But it would behoove us to continue to ground ourselves. Remember to stay within your practices, Dreamwalkers. Remember that even though the chaos energy is rising because of Taurus season, it's activating both the power and its shadow. So let's use it. Let's use it for our benefit because the light comes out of the darkness, okay? The light comes out of the darkness. The post-death, yes, it has sent ripples through spiritual and psychic fields, creating a little bit of instability in places that are now meant to become destabilized. A lot of these so-called first world countries, a lot of them are meant to become destabilized during the times that we're living in right now because there's a shift, not just in power. It's not really a power shift necessarily. It's more of an energetic shift where mentally a lot more people are deciding to not just take the blue pill and keep things going, but take the red pill, take the green pill. You know what I'm saying? Like take all of them. You need to see from every vantage point. You need to see all views, not just the one that you're so keen on pushing, right? Because we know we're all different. We understand that. However, if you cannot have a conversation with someone who disagrees with you without getting into a heated debate or argument, you might need to rethink the things that you really truly care about. Because is it really worth getting into that argument or expending that energy that you would normally expend in an argument by being riled up? Or would it behoove you to simply remain in your character and remember to practice speaking with yourself from the inside out instead of letting people externally affect every little thing that you're doing or letting life's external factors affect your ways of thinking? When you've already come so far, you've come so far and you're going to continue to go further. You've seen it. You've had the dreams. You've had the confirmations. You know what's up. Stop doubting yourself. You got this. Now, approaching the Taurian supermoon with the magnifying emotions that are going to continue to take place, especially the ones that we usually try to control or hide, please make sure that you're continuing to meditate, you're continuing to journal, you're continuing to get yourself outside. It's springtime right now in the Western Hemisphere. Get your butt outside and, go for a walk, go for a run, go for a jog, earth yourself, walk barefoot in the grass, barefoot in the sand if you're at the beach, plant your feet in the ground. Specifically for those of you that are able to, if you have, enough space in your backyard or, you're at the beach, you're able to get to a beach, dig a hole, plant your feet in it, cover your feet in the hole with the dirt or the sand, stay there, meditate, really, really tune in to earth energy. It's a great feeling. If you can't do that, go put your back on a tree before you walk inside your house. You know, make it a good practice for you to find a way to ground before you enter your house, specifically after you get off of work, right? You don't want to carry that energy in. It'll help with the energy of your home. It also will help you because now your spirit's going to be calm. I've seen a lot of sisters going around talking to the trees, and I'm so excited to see that being pushed now because it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful moment a beautiful, intimate moment that you have when you're able to just go up to any tree and just talk to it. Send it a lot of love energy, a lot of healing energy. It's going to send it right back. That's what trees do for us. That's why they breathe in carbon dioxide, the same thing that we exhale. It's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. And I must add, please remember to breathe deeply. The full diaphragm breath. The way that we used to breathe, the same way we used to breathe when we were children, when we were babies specifically. You see babies when they breathe and their entire chest is moving, their stomach is moving too. Let's remember to take some deep breaths for ourselves, because a lot of us, even right now, some of you may be breathing very shallow. But remember to take a few deep breaths every day. Really work on that, because the more breath work you do, the faster your body is going to get acclimated to a higher level, a higher frequency, a higher dimension. And remember, dreamwalkers, purpose doesn't pause. It never will, no matter what we're going through. Even when the planet feels like it's in chaos. Stay close to yourself. Stay close to your grounding stone. That is your foundation. The Most High's is that stone. Because just like stones that go into rivers, they get tumbled and become out polished, right? But the thing is, the stone's still there. Just like the Most High is always inside of you, guiding you with what you need to do. Anytime you feel erratic or anytime you feel like, whoa, I really need to calm this down, I really need to walk away, do that and speak to the Most Highs about it. You don't have to wait. They're always with you. Because after the storm comes the clarity. And dreamwalkers like you are here to walk others through it.
Peace and power, dreamwalkers. Keep dreaming, keep moving, keep serving in your purpose.